Hello, and welcome to AccrediTalk, where I give you a bite-sized nugget from an accreditation standard that just might apply to your healthcare organization. My name is Tom Goddard. I'm the founder and chief executive officer of Integral Healthcare Solutions, your destination for all your healthcare accreditation consulting needs. The particular accreditation standard I'll be talking about in this video is OPIN 3.1, Job Descriptions and Staff Qualifications from URAC's Specialty Pharmacy and Mail Service Pharmacy Accreditation Programs version 4.0. You'll recognize this, if you're a veteran of the URAC world, as a combination of a couple of different standards from the core predecessor to this. They basically stuck two together. You've got to have job descriptions, and your staff needs to meet the requirements of those job descriptions. It makes perfect sense to me that URAC has combined these into one standard in this new version. So you've got to have a clear job description that outlines the scope of that position's responsibilities, duties, and roles. You've got to outline in that job description any minimum requirements for experience, training, and/or education. You've got to be clear about what certification or licensing, if any, is required. And then you've got to outline what the staff member's expected competencies are. What do you expect that person to be able to do? First of all, let's talk about scope. Who is staff here? Well, URAC doesn't really care about your distinctions within your organization between full-time employees, part-time employees, and consultants. So make sure to include your 1099 consultants with your W-2 employees. Now, the only difference there is for consultants, some of this language is likely to be in a contract as opposed to a job description. Your employment lawyers or your general counsel would probably want to stress that. However, that doesn't take you off the hook. You simply have to take all of those requirements that would normally be for a job description and put them in your contractor's contract. So make sure you have all of those elements covered in your contract if it's a 1099 employee and a job description doesn't apply. Now, here's a weird case. What happens if you have a person on your staff that you know is qualified to do that job, or you know they can do that job, job A, let's call it. So, but they don't have if you pull up the job description for job A, there's some things on there that they don't have on their resume. Well, you can handle this a number of different ways. One way is to make those requirements preferred. You know, like you need 4 years of experience of this. They have only 2 years of experience, but you know that they rocked it during those 2 years. So if you make the 4 years preferred, then if they don't meet that, then that's not a problem. It's only those parts of the job description or contract that are required. So be careful about what you attach that word required to. It could be that you want to leave the word required into the job description or the contract, but you want to give yourself some flexibility in some way. This is a little bit more arduous a process to create, but there have been applicants for accreditation over the years that have said, well, we'll do a formal process around this. If you've got somebody on your team that you want to have this job and they don't meet the formal requirements, we'll keep the formal requirements, but if you, the future manager, and you, the human resources director, go through a documented process by which you agree that that person can have that job despite the fact that they don't meet those requirements, that has been accepted by URAC as meeting the requirements of this standard. Now, there's, of course, more to this than I've described here, and you can read about that in the full interpretive guide that you can get to by clicking on the link below this standard. And if you'd like to talk to me personally, either about this standard or about how Integral Healthcare Solutions can help your organization get or retain accreditation, get accredited or retain accreditation, click that scheduling link also on the YouTube website. Thanks for joining me on AccrediTalk. I look forward to seeing you someday.